let's do the FX Educational Outlook for October 10th, 2017. Remember, we have the FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow, which gives us more insight into the details behind any decisions or comments coming from the last FOMC meeting. And that sometimes can cause the market to wait a little bit and be hesitant just before that announcement is made. And sometimes it can move quite a bit once those are made. If there's something significant in there that the market deems is notable, then we can have a movement. So let's watch what happens at 2 o'clock tomorrow. In the meantime, let's take a look at some of our markets. We'll start out with the Euro Loonie. You can see we're watching this resistance that we have here from the previous pivot that we have here. That's about 1.48104. If we can get above that, we could see a nice pop higher potentially, because we're bullish across the board here. So let's see what happens with that market. For the Pound Loonie, this one's in a little bit more of a consolidation here, although look at the nice break that we had on our 4-hour, and we went up and tested this previous pivot along here roughly, and now we're looking to go higher to break this most recent pivot here, and that's at 1.65282. So if we can get above there, we might see a nice little run up higher. Just be careful, as we are seeing a little bit of bearishness on the daily, and maybe this probably should be considered to be more neutral. In the US dollar loonie, you can see that we've got a pretty good setup here on the 4-hour for a potential break. We are looking at some bullishness on the daily and the weekly. So if we can get alignment on the 4-hour chart by breaking through here at around 1.25254, we might see a run towards this previous pivot and maybe up to the top one. On the bearish side of the market, we've got the Aussie Loonie. We're spending a lot of time looking at the Loonie here. We'll get some of the other markets in a second here. But you can see this trend line that's along here, and we're looking to see if we can break through here and move lower. We're starting to see pretty much some neutral MACD momentum here that we can keep an eye on, but it's this trend line right here that we want to see if we can break lower and then run lower. We're looking very bearish on our on our weekly here, and we can watch this one make a nice little pop lower if it does break through there. Just keep in mind the previous two pivots here, and maybe this one here as well, can provide a point for it to reverse, and the real move might not happen until we get below 0.96729. For the Aussie Swissy, we've got this trend line right here that we're watching on our daily. We are looking bearish and moving down towards that direction, so let's watch what happens as it approaches that line. It looks like that's going to be around 0.75593, so we'll watch that one for heading lower. The US dollar Swissy also making a move lower, kind of a bit of a head and shoulder pattern happening here, so you might see another extended run down towards these previous pivots below here. And the US dollar yen, this one's interesting because we've broken through a couple of trend lines on our 4-hour chart, and we've poked through this previous support at 112.206 and pull back a little bit. So if we can get a break below the previous bar's low, it could be a potential entry to run this one lower. And finally, the Aussie US dollar, that one has broken through the support at 0.78074. It's gone up and retested that, and now we're seeing a bit of a mini uptrend here. That we're looking for a nice pattern where we get a couple of bounces with some good space underneath it as we approach this support trend line. And if we can find our way to break through this line at about 0.775 or 0.776 or so, then we could see a nice little pop running down in alignment with what we have on the daily and the weekly. And that'll do it for today. Remember, you can subscribe by clicking on my image in the upper right, and you can watch previous videos by clicking on the image in the upper left. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.